So we'll start all our morning Dharma talks. We'll introduce a certain spiritual topic. We'll start with a short kirtan, and we will introduce important verse. Today will be the first verse, which you guys can learn, and the verses which we will be introducing very often you would be using either in your prayers before kirtan or in your, you could sing it as a kirtan as well. So everything will be very practical. And something which we already heard yesterday, we can start with one prayer to Guru, which you will not learn today, but you can repeat after me. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Something which we learned yesterday with Vish. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And now the verse which we will learn today, but we will speak about it later. Let's just recite it. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevala, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyadha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, say together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Premanande. So our kirtans, even short kirtans, tend to be long because we want all of you to chant at least one time. But this is what we are here for, right?
Right.
And it's wonderful to hear all your voices and expressing your hearts through kirtan, and you all have very, very beautiful voices. And I think very excited to see what will happen with you. In the beginning you have very beautiful voice. What will happen with you after 1 month?
Yeah, as a coach, as a kirtan coach, I'm listening. What is someone's range? How is it? I'm listening so we can help you guys help to keep moving, improving.
You want to?
So today's verse that we would like to memorize and learn. When there's an advertisement, right? To me, this is the advertisement for kirtan, this verse. Because in the advertisement, they say, you really need this product. Without this product, your life is not going to be, as it could be. So this verse, to me, is like the advertisement. And this verse is from the Kali Santarana Upanishad. And it goes like this. Please say, Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Eva Kevalam.
Eva
So
Kevalam.
repeat Hare Nama 3 times, right? Hari Nam. So Hari Nam becomes Hare Nama, the name of Hari. The name of Hari. And Hari, you could say, is probably the most generic name for God in the Sanskrit language. When they say Hari, just means, Hari, of course, is specifically a name of Krishna or Vishnu, but Hara is a name of Shiva, Hara Mahadev, and Hara is a name of all the feminine energies, specifically starting from Srimati Radharani, Hara, Mother Hara, Goddess Hara, who we call Hare in the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, that's the feminine. So Hari, it's like this name that encompasses it all. So Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Eva Kevalam.
Eva Kevalam.
Eva means only, or is certainly. Eva means certainly. Kevalam means only. Certainly only. Surely only. I don't know.
Only.
Eva Kevalam.
Eva Kevalam.
Keval means complete, only. Then, that's the first line. Then the second line is Kalo,
Hello.
Kalo,
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva,
Gatir Anyatha.
Gatir Anyatha.
So, Na Asti Eva. Kalo Na Asti Eva. That's 3 words. It becomes Nasti Eva in Sanskrit. Na, not. Asti is. Eva, certainly. Nasti Eva. So it becomes like this. Kalo
Hello.
Kalo,
Nasti Eva.
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva.
Nasti Eva,
Nasti Eva.
Nasti Eva,
Gatir Anyatha.
Gatir Anyatha.
Kalo means in Kali, in this age, in this time, which is called the Kali Yuga. Kalo, in Kali Yuga, and in the Vedic idea, time is cyclical, and it's constantly, there's yugas or time cycles, and they're constantly cycling around, and right now we happen to be in the Kali Yuga. So the verse says, Kalo na asti eva, na asti eva, na asti eva. There is not, there is certainly not, there is certainly not. Gatir, a goal. Gati, gati means a goal or a way or a path. Gatir anyatha. Anyatha means there's no other. So once again, Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Eva Kevalam,
Eva Kevalam,
Kalo,
Kalo,
Nastyeva,
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 Gatir Anyatha.
Gatir Anyatha.
And each thing is Hare Nama, and Nastyeva is repeated 3 times for emphasis.
It's actually 6 times because it says the same thing. It says this is the only way, the only way, the only way, and then says there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So I don't know, if you want to emphasize something more, I don't think you can actually. So it's very, very pivotal verse, and we call it pramana, or the evidence, shastric evidence for the chanting of the name. That in the Kali Yuga, chanting of the holy name is, you cannot even say the most potent way of self-realization. As you can see, this verse doesn't say this is the most, this is the only way. And we know in different traditions, in different religious traditions, it's more or less, especially those who are in the core tradition, in Christianity, in Islam, everywhere, you know, in Islam you always call out the name of God. They call Allah. But as the sun, right? Sun is the same entity, but I can say sun. In Sanskrit we can say Surya, in Russian we can say Solnce, and in Cantonese, or what is it?
Taya.
Yeah, it's like if you think these guys are talking about different things. No, but we're talking about the same thing. So, of course, again, somebody believes in it, somebody doesn't, but we just explain. Of course, me and Wish, we have very, very deep-rooted faith and knowledge based on the Vedic scriptures, and for whatever we've learned and known and experienced, this is very, very clear truth for us, that there's one entity, one supreme God, and in different traditions he is addressed in different ways. There's feminine aspect of God, as actually Mahamantra unites both feminine and masculine aspect. Krishna is a supreme potent, and Radha is supreme potency, and they always together. Therefore, Mahamantra, it's amazing combination when you call out to, and he's never alone, right? God is never alone, he's never without his counterpart. And this is, of course, very, very esoteric knowledge which is not touched in any other religion. And of course, in the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the very esoteric scriptures, it's discussed in depth how it works. So, Hare Nama, the holy name, is the only way for self-realization. And of course, there's the 4 goals. Vedas say there's the 4 goals of human existence. They're called Artha, Dharma, Kama, and Moksha. Artha is a religiosity or piety. Sorry, other way around, right? Dharma. Sorry. Dharma means your true purpose. Religiosity, living in accordance with the moral codes, you know, being a good human being. This is all kind of covered within Dharma. Then if you live like this, then Artha, you are rewarded, you have a lot of wealth, you have a lot of facilities. Artha is accumulating material opulences. It's a goal of human life also. karma, and once you have it, what you do? You enjoy. So enjoyment, sensual enjoyment, enjoying the results of your activities, it's very much the goal of human life. Everybody wants to do it, right? And then above it is moksha. When person understands that this is kind of a cycle which doesn't, I can get no satisfaction, right? We know this famous song. So it doesn't matter, you can do this circle of dharma, artha, kama. At some point, it's emptiness. That's why a lot of people who are very wealthy and, very famous, sometimes they even commit suicide, After they have it all, they kind of squeeze maximum out of whatever they could out of this life, and they say there's no meaning, I'm still not satisfied, It's and then that's why you have moksha. Moksha is liberation or finding one's true self. So some people ask about it even before getting frustrated out of wisdom. Krishna says that there's 4 types of people. Some come to spiritual path through misery, and some out of wisdom, maybe coming from previous life. So somebody come to path of self-realization, just, I was a child, I was always interested in spiritual topics, I always inquiring, what is more to this life than just, eating, going to work, having sex, having children, and, dying. Basically like animals live like this. They don't ask questions, they don't go to therapists, they don't have any mental crisis. Unfortunately, we have a more developed consciousness and mind, and therefore such a simple animalistic life very often does not satisfy those who are very thoughtful. And so moksha, liberation, is something which one person start inquiring about it and start kind of molding one's life in achievement of that. This is something which is beyond birth and death, right? Then you understand, okay, this is not where everything ends, and it is very satisfying for those who pursue it, and for those, and that's why you see a lot of people, sadhus, they are very simple. They live, sometimes without possessions, and they just chant the whole day, and they absorbed in their prayers. And if you do it for the right purpose, and if you do it with the proper mentality, those are most happy people, because the bliss which comes from this is nothing compared of the bliss which we can get through our sensual perception. And then there's, in Bhakti, they say there's a Panchama Purushartha, or the 5th goal. And 5th goal is love, divine love. We call it Prema Bhakti, love of God. So when we're talking about Gatir, Anyatha, we're talking about these 2 things. It's not about Dharma, it's not about Artha, it's not about Kama. For those who are in knowledge, they are not considered important goals. But moksha, but more importantly, prema, is something, when you chant the holy name, this is the only way how you can get there, and the fastest way, because Bhagavad Gita is an amazing book, and we will talk a lot about different yoga paths, yoga ladders. Krishna lays out amazing knowledge, but beauty about bhakti that it needs the least qualification to start. You don't need to be qualified, and it is the most powerful. So this is amazing product which we have in Kali Yuga. Yeah, are you convinced to buy it? Right?
Yeah.
we're selling the holiday, so we have it. Anyway, so that's why Vish dedicated all his life to kirtan and chanting. That's why I do it all my life. it's just because we are convinced and we see the result, and we want that more, that you guys and more people just come in contact with this. And I mean, music itself is very satisfying, right? People like to sing. It's just satisfying even on a level of senses. But when the holy names comes inside the music, and it's an amazing combination. It's like a irresistible spiritual weapon. Anyway.
I sing for love, divine love. I sing for love, Radha Krishna love. I sing for love. Super loud.
Yeah.
Swami Shivananda, he says that kirtan is the easiest, quickest, and most joyful means of perfection. And in this age of Kali, in this age which they call the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, just open up your cell phone to the news and you see the bullshit, So, what is reality? What is real? What is it that we can hold on to in any situation? In the chaoticness, the chaos of the world, what is it that can keep us connected? Yoga means connected, yoga means linked, yoga means united, union. So what is it that can do that? What is it that can do that? As I was saying earlier, there's different ages. There's been different ages. Cyclical, time is cyclical. So the first age in the Vedic concept is called Satya Yuga. In Satya Yuga, people could live for hundreds of millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years. And the practice of that age was called the Golden Age. Satya Yuga was the Golden Age. And here in India, the belief is there that gods and goddesses were roaming these lands in those times, and sages, and what they could do, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu, that one could sit in silence like we did maybe for 20 minutes today, 25 minutes, but someone could sit in silence for 1,000 years just with the breath, nothing else, or even controlling the breath. We'll hear stories of personalities like Dhruva who control their breath, So Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu, that in this Satya Yuga, when people would live so long and there was complete mode of goodness, complete sattva guna, only mode of goodness. Everyone was living from the Sahasrara Chakra on the higher dimension, right? That everyone was living in that way. So to sit and meditate for a long, long time, for a whole lifetime, was possible. But now we sit here and we hear the tractors and we hear the vroom, vroom, and we hear this and that, right? So maybe dhyan, maybe the Dhyayato Vishnu we do a little bit to help us, but we can't do it all the time. Then Tretayam Yajato Makai, the second yuga is called Treta Yuga. And Treta Yuga, you could call it the Silver Age, right? And in the Silver Age, in the Treta Yuga, Tretayam Yajato Makai, that there would be these immense ritualistic ceremonies with fire, the burning of fire, and you offer swaha and you pour the ghee, and these yagyas would go on for hundreds of years, non-stop, all day long, all night long. Tretayam Yajato Makai, that in that age, and the mantras were so powerful, that the personalities were so powerfully connected to the elements and the mantras that they could light fire by mantra. They could sing and make the clouds come and make rain come. So this was the Treta Yuga in this yuga, and through sacrifice, through this ritualistic sacrifice. So that's the second yuga. Then the third yuga, Dwapar Yuga, where this is the third yuga. In the Dwapara Yuga, you could call it like the Copper Age, right? Or something like that. So in the third age, people live maybe 1,000 years, and in the Dwapara Yuga, the practice or the Dharma or the practice of that age, recommended by all spiritual seekers, would be to Dwapare Paricharyayam, that there would be this huge temples would be built and bring the community into the temple, and then the worship of the deity form of the Lord, which we'll see happening here. And if you travel around South India and other places, there's temples that are remains from the Dwapara Yuga, from that time. The deities that are being worshipped to this day are from that time, 5,000 years ago and older than that. These worship has been going on. Imagine that, So that was that for that age, and the remains of that still continue to this day, where we still have access to the temple and like that. But in my opinion, what is the use of the temple actually, or the place of worship? It's to gather us together for what? Kalo tad hari kirtanat. That in Kali Yuga, which some have called the Iron Age, but I would rather call it the plastic age, because living here in India, it's like use and throw, it breaks the heart, But this age of Kali, which is quarrel, hypocrisy, fighting, families fighting, nations fighting, brothers and brothers fighting. This is this age. People live maybe 100 years. I mean, the other day I read something, and I can't find it right now, and I'm not good at math, but basically 365, what's 365 times 100? 36,000?
Yeah.
36,000.
Right.
36,500,
Yeah.
right? That's how many days we may have to live. Think about that. Maybe 36,000 days, maybe if we're lucky. What is
Sleep
that?
over 25 years.
And then, yes, a quarter of that is
The other day, it was
quarter of that is sleeping.
someone that's like 65 years old sleeps 20 plus years.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, right. Where's the time? Where's the time? Where the time goes, So in this Kali Yuga, it says, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya. This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam where it says that people in this age will live short lives, their intelligence will be short, their memory will be short, their ability to focus will be short. Time is short, right? We got So Kalotad Hari Kirtanat, that in this age of Kali, the recommended process for this age is the chanting of God's names, the chanting of the names of Hari. And when I say the name Hari, I would like you all to understand that it is, as Doyal said, it is that one absolute truth, right? Which we're all approaching, which every, I would say, religion or spiritual practice approaches from different perspectives, in which each one of us will also have a perspective and a relationship that can be developed with. So Kalotad Hari Kirtana, that in this age, the chanting of God's names is the recommended process. Hallowed be thy name, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Allahu Akbar, whatever tradition we may come from, Wakantanka, Jehovah, Jah bless, this is whatever tradition we may come from, the names of God, and all these different names, like Akbar, Allah means the great. God is great. No problem. Why should we have a problem with that? Of course God is great. But Krishna means the all-attractive one. So what name and Krishna is one of the names of, there's the Vishnu Sahasranam, which has 1,008 names of Vishnu. And that's just some of them. Even in Islam, they have, I believe, 100 names of Allah. And they're so sweet, you know. And each name, what name will resonate with me? What name will resonate so that it's my way of approaching that one? Therefore, Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nama,
Hare Nameva Kevalam,
Hare Nama eva kevalam,
Kalo Nasteva,
Kalo Nasteva,
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 Gatiranyatha.
Gatiranyatha.
And we are all going to be at various levels of conviction or faith in a verse like this. And I'm on that journey as well. Do I really, really have firm faith that Kalo Nasteva Naste, that there is no other way, that there, then why would I be doing anything else besides chanting all the time? Right? But even I chant this verse as a prayer, as a reminder, as an affirmation that please give me the realization, give me the strength, give me the taste, a taste. Because unless we actually have a taste for it, we're not going to like to do it. Like Doyal said, there's kama, there's this dharma, artha, kama. There's this gratification, there's a sense gratification. We all require a certain amount, right? Depending on our body, our genetics, our background, our experiences, we all have a certain amount of sense gratification. So unless we actually get a taste for something, are we really going to do it and apply ourselves every single day to that practice? Unless we're really getting a taste. So all I can do is show up and beg for that taste. Beg. Because it's through that relationship with the holy name that the holy name will begin to manifest, and maybe I'll actually start to experience something, feel something, and then when I start feeling something, then maybe my faith, that small little seedling of faith that was planted who knows in what lifetime, by the Guru, by the eternal Guru, by the Sat Guru, the eternal Guru that guides us, that seed of faith has been planted, and now I just have to be a gardener and just pull out the weeds and keep tending my garden, and how much sunlight and how much water and what type of association is good for that, and what type of association do I need to maybe avoid to tend the tiny little seedling of faith within our heart. I'll just say one more thing, that in this land there was a great bhakta, ecstatic chanter, madman for the holy name, known as Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda. We chant to him in the verses that we're learning. So Prabhu Nityananda, he would dance and chant, and it says that he would go door to door at this time in the morning, right when the sun was rising. He would go door to door, and people didn't really want to get, room service, a salesperson in their door at that time of morning. But he would go in, he would say, please, if Shraddhavan Jan hai Shraddhavan Jan, that the only price that I ask for you to accept this nectar, this treasure of the chanting of the holy names, the only price I ask is Shraddha, is that a drop of faith. And through that faith, from faith, which is the beginning of our process, and maybe one day we'll talk through the stages of realization and dimensions that can open up through these practices that we're going to be doing together, then we can go to the gatir, the goal, the focus. What is our gati? That you said, prema, right? Is love. Divine love, prema, right? Beyond all three-dimensional or even four-dimensional or five-dimensional or AI or this or that, beyond it all, there is something which no scientist, which no person has been able to put their finger on. Why? Because it's indescribable, and it can only be experienced, and that experience is something that can be developed. We have been taught by the bhakti teachers, by the bhakti acharyas, those, and when I say bhakti teachers, I don't only mean bhakti in like the Hindu way, but I mean bhakti from Jesus, and bhakti coming from the you know, from the Sufis and Rumi and the poets, and bhakti coming from the Jewish tradition through the Kabbalah and through Jewish mysticism, right? And bhakti coming through devotion to Buddha and through, you know, Theravada Buddhism or other like that. These mystical undercurrents that have been there, that, you know, that the big temples and the big mosques and the big churches have been built on top of. And sometimes we just see this structure and we see this institution and we see this hierarchy, right? It's coming from bhakti, but when it loses the bhakti, it becomes an issue, right? But as long as it's connected to that bhakti, which is the underlying current, that's the source that's feeding all the wells, that's feeding all the springs, and we're here to drink and taste of that, and to develop more and more of our taste for that. And there's only one way to do that.
We call it Dharma talks, but as you notice, there'll be more bhakti talks than Dharma talks. We already established that Dharma is just. I'm hearing just what Vish was saying, and each point which he makes, I'm like, okay, I'm just diving in the ocean of something. So there's so much we can unpack just from what we presented, and I'm excited. Maybe for the next mornings that we can just develop. It's amazing ocean of knowledge and inspiration. One thing, before we finish, and we're already over time, but today is a day. We're a little late with everything. That why even we know Harinama Eva Kevalam, but why we do other things, it's all the quality of association, right? So, because if we don't speak about that, then our ears, our mind is engaged with whatever everybody tries to sell us something, different people. So whoever wins our attention and wins our mind, there we go. And the good example is like, there's a story, not the story even, kind of example of two dogs. He said you have two dogs, and which one, if they fight, which one will win of the two dogs? One bhakti teacher was asking another bhakti teacher, two dogs. He said, I don't know, your riddle is strange, just, you answer. He said, the one which you feed more. So the analogy, I guess you understand, right? Whatever we feed our mind with, this is that inspiration. If we feed our spiritual side, our spiritual conviction, our association based on spiritual values, we're getting stronger, we're getting more committed to our spiritual practice. If we feed it with material things, aspirations, Ferrari, Lamborghini, money, women, man, whatever it is, that this side will be winning. And it's that simple. It's where we put our attention. It's very difficult to be foreign to the environment, right? If we're in a particular environment, very, very likely we will grow into the values, into the aspirations which people or whatever we surround ourselves with share around us. And one of the important verses which maybe we can go tomorrow is the importance of association. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra
Koi.
Lava Madra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Right, this is another verse. So it said that saintly association is all the scriptures say that saintly association, even a tiny bit of it, will bestow upon you all perfection. You know, so we are all very happy to have all of you, and for 1 month we hope to make this Kirtan teacher training into very, very powerful sadhu sangha, that we grow both in our skills, in our musical skills and our musical abilities, but also in our spiritual maturity.
Are there any questions or comments about anything? Like, how does the hot water work? Or anything?
When is breakfast? Nice.
You guys are recording these. Are these going to become available to us?
Yeah, everything which is recorded, I'll just put it on unlisted YouTube or something. And just all of you guys can see it. Yeah. And we want to record everything.
And I'm also, all the verses that we're quoting, as much as possible, I'm putting them into a file. I've been sending some on the WhatsApp, but I'm actually putting them in a file. So eventually we can create a little, over the days, we'll have a little booklet for our, and have access to them. And
Possible to get some printouts of like the verses that we're studying, like
Yes.
what you were saying before, because
Yes.
just if we have something that we can
Yeah.
outside of our time together, really study it, that would be helpful.
Yes, we'll get that going. We'll get printouts, and and these videos will be available. We'll even film the classes and everything, so that you guys can access them again.
Yeah.
So I had a thought. Maybe it's a question. I'm not sure. So the ideal, let's say, is chanting all the time, and there's so much else distracting us. But like, if I think about it, what we are doing the past couple of 100 years, let's say, is taking away things we need to do to sustain ourselves, which could be to have more time for chanting. And I mean, you've been talking about life expectancy. It's like tripled in the past 100 years or 200 years, and I guess the pitfall is
What do we do with that time?
what we do with the time. Yeah. Do we waste it? Do we like fill it with other stuff, and then at the end we have the same time that we chant, as if we were to live just 30 years and grow our food ourselves and all that. So
There's a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Maybe we need to just say it for the camera and we'll find it. Basically, it says that what is the use of hundreds of years which is lived in pursuit of sensual pleasures, or in ignorance of true self. Better to live one moment of pure consciousness, pure, realizing oneself. So it's basically, amount of time is not really important. You could have hundreds of years and just waste it. And said there's also, in other words, that trees, they live hundreds of years, but their consciousness is very undeveloped, and but it's important to live. It's important to live in the moment, not in the past. That's called sattva. That whatever happened in the past, it's in the past. We cannot change it. We can learn from the past, but what I do now, and as much as possible, if we realize that each moment counts, and each moment could be the last one. We never know, right? It's not life expectancy. I mean, you could be healthy, but something else. We have karma, also many different things. So I'll find this verse. It's very, very interesting. So maybe this is something which, partially answers or resonates with your thought.
yeah, Yeah, I guess that's one part. The other part, I think, is maybe looking at this in a positive way is something that's also good, because these days a lot of people are quite down about the situation. But there might be a glimmer,
Absolutely.
you know.
Silver lining.
Yeah.
There's something that can come out from that. Yes.
And it's cyclical, right? So
It's cyclical. It goes around. It goes around.
long again and chant all the time.
You know the story of this Chinese farmer, which I think there was a Chinese farmer and he had horses, and the horse ran away, and everybody like such bad things happen, you know. Your horse ran away. He had one horse. He said, I don't know if it's good or it's bad, you know, it's what it is, you know, just horse ran away. And then horse comes back with 20, 30 horses, you know, it was a leader horse that brought the whole another group of horses back. Everybody, oh, you're so lucky, you know, you kind of lost one horse, now so many horses came back to you. I said, I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, it's just what it is, you know. And then one day his son was riding one of the horses, and he was untamed and just threw the son from its back, and son broke the leg. And everybody said, oh, you are very unfortunate. Your son broke the leg. And he said, I don't know, good or bad, it's what it is. My son broke the leg, that's the fact, you know. I do not know if it's good or it's bad. And then there was war. The big enemies of the state were coming, marching, and everybody was drafted. But his son was not, because he had a broken leg. So, you know, the point is that just to being positive, you never know what's the plan. Some things which look bad could be very good. Some things which look good could be very bad. So the one in knowledge, no, everything happens for a reason, I guess that's the thing. And we always know that, I mean, if you are religious, if you're in the faith, you know that whatever happens, there's a lesson for me to learn, and it should not bring me down, but actually uplift me. It's like, you know, same like if you are boxer fighting, right? You are featherweight boxer, and then you gain weight, and you have become better, you get a tougher fighter, you know, you have a heavier fighter, you become better, and your opponent becomes better, right? So as we become more spiritually strong, the tests become a little tougher. But it's because it's a school of graduating us into the best version of ourselves. That's how it works.
And one of the obvious silver linings of Kali Yuga is that we can fly from wherever we have been to come here and be here together, and not have to spend 9 months walking across the land, or however long it would take to even walk it. I don't even know. And that we get to be in the abode of Chaitanya, in the holy land of Chaitanya's land, and that Chaitanya came in the Kali Yuga to share the chanting of God's name. So, you know, and that it's easier. It's easier now, and it's more quick, and it's joyful, and it's more fast, and it can be fun. It can be fun, and that's how we're going to learn how to have fun with it and make it fun for others. Kirtan for me is always fun. It's always about fun. Some people, they sit and it's very, very serious, you know, and I get that. I get the seriousness of it. Actually, we'll get serious too, you know, but there's a playfulness and a fun that comes with this. And I hope that we find that and that we can keep that, you know.
And also interesting to see what mood everyone will bring, because I think everyone will just create not like an own, you know, like mood or taste for kirtan, and then some of us maybe might sing really like a little more introverted or maybe like a little more melancholic, other people are really joyful. And that's the beauty of kirtan, also what I love. When you step into a kirtan, you never know what mood will be created altogether. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
There's a beautiful song that says Kehova kande, Kehova nache, Keho mate mane mane. That some are just crying, Kehova kande, and some are dancing in ecstasy, Kehova nache, and Keho mate mane mane, and some are just sitting quietly, just in their mind, just absorbing it all, you know? So we all have our way of approach. I know I don't have to ask you to get up and dance, you know?
And she pays obeisances before she does it, eh? Very, very nice.
Britta, can I introduce you to our group real quick?
Sorry, yes, I didn't want to disturb you.
We're just finishing up here.
Hi.
This is Britta. Britta is Gopinath's wife. You all have met Gopinath, of course, right? You guys have all met Gopinath, right? So Gopinath and Britta, they live in Germany, and Britta is kind of a mastermind around this project, and you know, and she like some of you may not, you know, some of you may have already started to get India a little bit, but Britta, like, she's like, India, really? So she's like, okay, I'm gonna make something really, really special in India so that I have a place to be. So. And,
Nice to meet you all.
and I wanted to invite you that you're welcome to join any of our sessions.
Thank you so much.
You know,
Thank
morning, evening, class, whatever you want.
Thank you. That's very kind. Yeah, most of the time I will be working, so I'm just stuck to the room. But
Come chant a little bit with us when you feel like
thank
it.
you so much. It was nice to meet you in the evening. Welcome to everyone. I hope you're having a good time. No culture shock. You're well. Have fun.
Very well.
Go get my boys.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yes, Gopi.
Thank you guys for being here. I was just doing my work down with this guys, and I was realizing you guys were doing Kisan day and night. And I had always this desire to have it at least some Kisan day here. So this is it. And I realized I just brought you guys day before yesterday. I just brought you this home because I offered this for you guys. And Jagannath is her favorite baby, and you guys my favorite baby. So I brought you guys just here, and it's so incredible that he found when this young girl happened naturally. And I didn't remember, I've been trying to bring him from November. I spoke to you that we do something for him. And
Now is the time.
And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And by the way, Gopinath is himself amazing kirtani, a musician, and whenever you have time, please join us for the kirtans. Yes.
This guy will never stop, man. When they were building this thing, who's on the third floor? Somebody staying on the third floor? I mean, it's high, right? And there was these bamboo things, and I'm standing inside the big glass windows, like they weren't there yet. So he's on the outside on this bamboo, like 3 floors up, and I'm looking down, and my feet are getting sweaty while I'm looking down, and he's just standing there having a conversation. I'm like, can you please come down and talk to me inside? And then he like just and the monkeys his way down. I was like, oh my gosh.
I want to make it some nice sitting area for the rooftop and also for your classes. I need maybe 2-3 days, so I'll get that done. Now, I made a little bit of arrangement here. You can have sitting area for now. But I'm trying to make that nice for you guys downstairs. So yeah. And I'll put a water here, so if you guys need the water from the deep one, you can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Gopi. Very well. Okay, so we actually half hour late. Maybe they will not feed us anymore, but we'll give it a try. I'm joking. Govinda already messaging me. So we resume at 10:30.
Yes.
Okay.
10:30.
We resume at 10:30, and today is Ekadashi, very special day. So on Ekadashi, we don't eat, I mean, we never eat anything non-veg, but on the Ekadashi we don't eat grains and we don't eat beans. So if you guys want to, I mean, they definitely serve Ekadashi there.
So no grains and no beans on today, and we can talk a little more about what today symbolizes according to the moon and the calendar, and we can, so yeah, so all the meals today will be grainless.